how foreign investors are viewing the ratings upgrade that the Indian economy has seen last week. Now, a lot has been said about FIIs selling Indian equities over the past few months, while the secondary markets may have lost somewhat of their sparkle for FIIs for the same reasons that both Neeraj and Neera articulated right now. Shraddha has looked at some data to figure out what exactly has caught their fancy this financial year. Shraddha, they're preferring primary markets to secondary markets?
Well, yes, and we will see that through the numbers that we're showing. But first, this is only numbers with respect to equity markets. We're not talking about debt markets here. So just clarifying, because there have been a significant investment into the debt bit as well. So if you look at the foreign investment picture in the secondary market so far in FY18, that is April onwards, you will see that in totality they have sold about 21,000 crores or so. And the months of August, September and October, these 3 months of periods of heavy outflows, a total outflow of about 39,000 crore or so coming in from the FIIs in the secondary market. But the entire picture changes if you look at the flows that have come into the primary markets via equities. And before that, just a disclaimer that the secondary primary markets don't include only IPOs. Of course, it will be the largest component, but it includes IPOs, your OFS, your FPOs. So all of that combined, they have put in about 72,000 crores or so. Earlier months saw higher inflows coming in. It cooled down a little bit in August, but you look at the months of September, October and November, these 3 months are the time that we have seen the 4 large insurance IPOs coming out, and hence you could say that to some extent you could have seen the FI inflows shifting from the secondary markets to the primary markets. In September you had the SBI life insurance IPO, you had GIC in October, and you had HDFC Standard Life and New India Assurance, both that came in November. These were some of the largest issues this year. And for example, SBI Life Insurance, the QIB portion was subscribed 12.6 times. But of course, we cannot say that all of that money came from foreign funds, because you would also have Indian funds that were invested. But this is just to give an example of the kind of IPOs that we have seen, and then probably that's has caused FIIs to shift focus from the secondary to the primary markets. So net, while we are talking about net outflows, or when we've been talking about FIIs pulling out funds from Indian markets, well, primary markets have been buoyed, and we have seen inflows to the tune of 72,000 crores or so.
So they sold 21,000 crores in the secondary markets, and they bought 72,000 crores.
Yeah.
Nice, interesting numbers.